All right, so this collective freakout from the crybaby left is now reaching mind-numbing levels. Now, let's go through the very latest, most ridiculous examples. Now, according to the Washington Free Beacon, well, the public relations company founded by CNN's radical Van Jones, they're working with Republican Electoral College electors who plan on voting against Donald Trump on December the 19th. New York Times Magazine says that the Trump victory is so devastating to liberal women in Washington, D.C., that they're now cutting their hair and dyeing it as black as they possibly can because they want to feel empowered in order to oppose President-elect Trump. And that's not all. The Washington Post, they ran a story of what crybaby lefties are now calling the Trump 10. You know, you send your kids off to college, they gain 10 pounds the first year. Well, Clinton voters are apparently so upset, they're blaming Trump because they're gaining weight. And Cosmopolitan magazine, they put out an article with this headline, quote, "I haven't had sex in weeks and I blame Donald Trump." And of course, over at The View, we have Joy Behar and others. They've been losing their collective minds over the election. It's like they've got three Rosie O'Donnells. Take a look.
One smart person said that they think that what's going to really happen is the Republicans are going to turn on him, and Pence will eventually start doing the presidency. What do you think about that? I mean, it was just a guess.
Watch your uterus. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
but this new administration is bringing in something we haven't seen in a long time.
Mental illness.
And that is...
Sorry, go ahead. I couldn't control myself. Sorry.
Ladies, your uteruses will be fine. Then there's President Obama's close advisor, Valerie Jarrett. And here's what she said about the election outcome. Poor woman.
You know, obviously, we were surprised by the outcome of the election, and it's kind of, you know, was I'm not sure what the right analogy would be, but like a punch in the stomach, let's say. Soul-crushing might be another description.
So very sad. And, of course, left-wing Hollywood, they can't take it either. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Tina Fey is claiming that President Trump will turn the country into Nazi America. And under uber-liberal Michael Moore, well, he's saying Republicans are going to bring about an onslaught of suffering from day one. Watch this.
The majority of Americans, let's say it again, wanted Hillary Clinton. The majority of Americans did not want Donald Trump. It is the responsibility of this minority of Democrats in Congress
to
block, obstruct, disrupt, and do whatever they can to prevent the onslaught that is going to happen with Donald Trump. He's going to be inaugurated on January 20th and January 21st, which is a Saturday. Don't be surprised if the Republicans call a Saturday session of Congress, and they are going to pass law after law after law and have him sign it the next day, and it's going to be one piece of suffering against people after another. And it is the job of the Democrats now to stop the suffering that he's about to create for the American people.
Michael, calm down. The suffering happened under Obama. 13 million more Americans that are on food stamps, 8 million more in poverty, lowest labor participation rate since the 70s. That's Obama's policies. And by the way, the last hit comes from CNN's Chris Cuomo. He's comparing the president-elect and his nominee to the EPA to segregationists. Really? Watch this.
He hasn't denied global warming.
He says it's far from settled.
He says the science.
That means he's not accepting the science. Either you accept the science or you don't. 99% of the scientific community says global warming is impacted by man. People thought the world was flat.
Yes.
People thought blacks and whites shouldn't marry. People thought blacks shouldn't be equal. That doesn't mean that you accept it as fact as a leader.
All right, all of this is so beyond ridiculous. But to my friends in the audience, let me translate what all of this means. It's pretty simple. They lost, they can't handle it, and you won. And hopefully America wins.